Welcome to Soul of an Empath, the podcast that helps empaths to feel loved, seen, heard, and understood in all areas of your life. Now here's your host, Tiffany Cano.
Welcome back to Soul of an Empath. I'm Tiffany Cano, and I am really looking forward to today's episode because my heart yearns for more love and compassion and justice and the ability to be seen no matter what color, ethnicity, race, or background that we have. And today we have Naheema, who is someone that I connected with when my heart was crying during the Black Lives Matter movement when it started a couple months ago. I remember just feeling so sad and devastated for everything that this part of our humanity and culture have experienced. And I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to do my little part. And so I started teaming up with Naheema a couple months ago. And since then, we have been leading community discussions and healing to end racism. And so I asked her to be on the show today, not only to tell us about her amazing gifts and how she helps and contributes to humanity, but also to let you guys know that that is something that we are actively working on. And if it calls to your heart to want to bring more love to this conversation, then please come. Mm-hmm. And I'll put the URL in the show notes for you. But basically, you'd go to highlyperceptivepeopleacademy.com for that. So let me tell you a little bit about Naheema. So she's the CEO and founder of Story Inside You. Naheema's built a platform that empowers Black women to find freedom in her story, embrace emotions and transitions as pathway to transformation, and co-create her future with intentions liberated. Once and for all, overcoming the strong Black superwoman syndrome, schema by leaning in with compassion. As a certified executive leadership and mindset coach, EQ expert, and renowned speaker, she helps her clients through workshops, retreats, and narrative alignment coaching, following her F.L.O.W method framework to not only love her story, but practice radical self-care and kindness to get unstuck and free. She empowers Black women and young queens to ignite the hope that grew dim, ditch the self-doubt, self-criticism, and need to fit into a box of someone else's rules to become the woman in life and business they are proud of. And yes, her focus is on empowering Black women. But I know just from her work with, our community that we've been talking to, I mean, she's empowering everybody. She's an accountability coach. She's, challenged me too to own my stuff even more. I mean, it's been great. And the amount of love and compassion that she brings to the conversations makes me want to cry sometimes. And I want to share her with you because she's an important part of my tribe. So I'm tearing up just thinking about it because her heart is just of gold. And, us empaths, we feel so, so much. And we're feeling everything that's happening in the world today. We're feeling the social injustice. Most of us are feeling all the angst and things that are happening with COVID and natural disasters and all of this stuff all at once. And just to come from this space of peace and love to not only cope, but to come to a place of healing and empowerment with it is so fantastic. So that is why I wanted to bring Naheema into our space and our community so she can shed her love and light with all of us.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. And just know that that love is reciprocated tenfold back at you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and your audience. And I'm just excited to honestly just be used in this moment as the Lord pleases, and to just share a little bit about what it is that I do, and how it is that, my little part in the world in being able to make my impact, and to hopefully, and at that same time, charge and ignite others to know that they matter and to make their impact as well.
Yes, so beautiful. And out of curiosity, what had you say yes to teaming up with me for our project that we've been loving on together?
Yeah. So for me, what made me say yes is the fact that this work is important. One of the things that I believe is, this movement is not a new movement, one. And I think it's important that as we navigate through this together, that we understand that it is more important that we be, meaning become, versus do. And we step into a place of internal transformation to be that love, to be that light, to be that unity, to break those cultural and societal norms that perpetuate racism, and truly take the time to look at ourselves and see, where is it within inside of me that I can break down those systems? And then where is it that I can break down those systems inside of my family, inside of my community, inside of structures, etc. So for me, just being able to utilize this space and truly hold space for people to have those honest conversations, but to know that they can have those conversations in love, being held, and knowing that we are there to support growth. We are there to support unity. We are there to support love.
Yes, indeed. And that's why I knew you were the exact right person to team up with for our community discussions and healing to help end racism. And I know it's been going on for hundreds of years. And, this, as you said, it's not a new movement. It's just like, here's a new level, an expression of it that is very loud right now. And I think it's good, because if we don't see it and hear it, we can't make the change. Absolutely. And I, just for those of you who are still getting to know me, like, I've never felt that I was racist, and yet I'm still doing the inner work. Like, okay, let me double check. Like, do I have any little bits of that, of expectations or beliefs based on, whatever my culture has taught me or family has taught me, and make sure that I'm purging that out. I remember doing a healing of clearing out generational stuff as well. So we can all do this together, like our own little part makes a difference.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that you said that because it's so true. Our own little part makes a difference because it's the change that happens with inside of us first that is going to be the ripple effect into this world. We have to be that change first. So thank
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I want everyone to get to know you a little bit more. So if you could turn back time and talk to your younger self, what wisdom and guidance would you tell her?
I would tell that beautiful young queen that, man, opportunities are truly endless, and that fear does not exist unless you believe and play into that notion. And so I would tell my younger self is to live without fear, live without any notion or feeling that you are not enough, you are not loved, and that you don't matter. Because all of those are lies. So I would just encourage her to go out and live your life bold. Literally think about it from the end to where you are now. Live each moment like it's your last, like it's that one precious gift that it is.
And could you now tell her this, like, for everybody who's listening? To me, like, as part of coaching and healing in sessions, like, we can go back and talk to that younger version of ourselves, whether it's our inner child or our inner teenager, right? And go back and give that pep talk that we needed with that wisdom, and
Yes.
and let that be healing and transformative to how we are thinking and seeing and being and reacting now.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, it could
Absolutely. And I will
be,
tell you from personal experience, I've had that self-talk.
yeah, it can be very
To my own inner
empowering.
child. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely. And to give yourself permission to do that, right? To give yourself permission to heal in that capacity because as we know, I'm sure that you've talked about in other episodes, Tiffany, is that oftentimes we're healing that inner child because those wounds affect us as adults. And so, in order to sometimes get to a place where we can unlayer those wounds, we have to connect to that inner child and give
Mm-hmm.
her the love and attention that she needs.
Yeah, it can be a whole beautiful healing ritual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to me about, what's your best tip to make the world a better, more beautiful place?
Mm. You know, my tip is honestly in line with the work that we're doing and having and creating space for these conversations, which is when we can get to a place of oneness, we can get to a place where judgment doesn't exist and love is the leading factor. And what I love about these conversations is, we can come together in honesty, right? And there's no judgment. And the goal is to get back to that place of oneness. The goal is to unlearn, right? All of the crap, to be honest,
Yeah.
that we've learned and layered on ourselves and our lives, to unlearn that and to go back to the true essence of who we are, who God made us. which is miraculous and beautiful. And yeah, it's a process. Yes, it's a journey. Yes, it's an inside out transformation. But that is my one tip, to connect back to humanity, to connect back to who we are, who God created us to be, and to live in that space for judgment of self and of others, because we can be so hard on ourselves, first of all. Before we even can talk about anybody else, we can be, our own worst critic and enemy. So going to the place of, no, I'm not going to judge myself, because I see myself as the miracle that God created me to be. And I see others as a miracle that God created them to be. And in you, I see God. And in me, I see God.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So beautiful. And I also was, I wanted to learn more about your Story Inside You 2020 Women's Empowerment Series. So this is what I have so far, and then you can fill in the blanks. That this series provides a space for women to come together in conversation and sisterhood to discuss real concerns of the female soul, life, career, entrepreneurship, motherhood, womanhood, future, goals, visions, and just be.
Mm-hmm.
And there's monthly topics that are carefully curated to empower and stimulate transformation on the journey of becoming.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, is that one for all women, or is that only for African American women?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can elaborate. So it honestly just started out as to be a forum for all women to come together. And over the course of the summer, I expanded to create a space for African American women. And it's a space called Queens Serving Queens, under the umbrella of this empowerment series, to where African American women can have that space to be able to share and express themselves, and to be without the sometimes the pressure of feeling like they need to be something else. And that goes into one of the things that I talk about with the Black strong woman syndrome, which oftentimes as African American women, we don't even realize that we're in, and that's us. And yet it is, where we have grown up with these cultural norms and fitting into this box of, one, vulnerability is a weakness, because that is one of the things that we were taught. And even that goes back to what our mothers experienced down into slavery. And it also goes into this piece of, as African American women, taking care of ourselves is such a tremendous feat sometimes, where we are so used to putting others' needs before ours, where we're making other people, whether that's our family or even our job, right, a priority, and we're not making ourselves a priority. And yet we end up feeling empty because we're not taking the time to fill the cup up. And this piece around, being in, we want to talk about career, right, where we can be in a position where either sometimes in our role, we are made high, but yet we don't have a voice, meaning that voice is not, it's not encouraged. It's like we're in positions where we do what, we're told, right? Do the job. And we're not fully expressing or exercising. We're living under these microaggressions that take place within the workplace. And then we come home and we're going back to being superwoman. And one of the things that I say is that, superwoman is human too. And so getting back to remembering that we are human, meaning that we're not robots. So let's connect back to our human and getting to a place where we are exercising our self-love and our self-worth, to know that we are worthy of exercising and expressing our voice. We are worthy of putting our self-care first. We are worthy of that. And going through the process of, moving through some limiting beliefs and emotions around that, that can be coupled with guilt or shame, that really gives us permission to be that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the feminine mentality for it in general is serve and help everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we forget that we're part of everybody.
Isn't it?
and we need to fill our own cup so that
Yes.
we can keep serving and helping and contributing to
Yes.
everybody else.
Yes. Absolutely. And understanding that truly, in order to do that, you have to take care of yourself first. It is not even an option. It is a necessity. And that's in your family, in your business. Like, one of the things that I teach is that your number one priority is to take care of you. And even just saying that, when I share that with clients, it's like, what? My number one priority is taking care of me and not XYZ? Yes, your number one priority is to take care of you.
You're not number 12 on the list. You're
Right.
number
Right.
one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you start to accept that, feel into it, and live it, you really do start a ripple effect around you. And you notice the relationships in your life that are around your nucleus change and shift, because you're shifting, because you're positioning yourself as the brilliant boss and wow factor and miracle that you are.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And talk to me about your program and some of the unexpected things that may show up, especially the side bonus that happened with the one client that you had mentioned. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So one of the things that, as a coach, we know our results, right? We know what that end outcome is going to be, because we've done it over and over and over again. And I tell you, with this particular client, it was just so awesome to see her journey and to have her step into this place of like confidence, where her whole like being lit up. Like, she just had a whole different energy. It was like this whole massive shift to where literally, like, moving forward, she was able to see that, yeah, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And yes, I am going exactly where I need to go. And so for me, it was just this beautiful revelation of seeing the journey, not only in the decisions that she was making in her life, but literally the glow in her face was just incredible.
I love that. I love seeing that. I mean, I rarely even do healing sessions in person, but for my workshops, like the before picture, we actually take before and after photos.
Yes.
In a lot of my workshops, because that glow in the face is so present. I think it's so cool.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Yes. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Have you also tried weighing them before and after? Sometimes, this is really cool. Sometimes the emotional baggage that is so friggin' heavy and, like weights them down, sometimes they can lose like a couple of pounds just in a session. Yeah, it's not necessarily the goal, but for like a fun experiment, I've actually weighed some people before and after, obviously with their
Yeah.
permission and whatnot,
Right.
but
Right.
so
Wow.
yeah.
That's so beautiful and so true, because it's like when you do carry that weight with you, where it's like when you release it, I never thought of it that way. But yeah, you carry that emotional weight with you. So I can see how that can translate into actual physical weight.
And
Wow.
some of the emotions that us empaths are carrying are not even ours.
True.
I
Most of the time it isn't.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So tell me a bit more about what you do and how you work with people. Is it mostly one-on-one? I know you do some group stuff. Can you tell me, how you work with them and maybe
Mhm.
also why it's so important to you?
Absolutely. So most of my work right now is one-on-one private coaching, and I am in the middle of cooking up something super awesome where it'll be more of a hybrid program to be able to serve more people. And what I love about what it is that I do and why this is so important to me, I'll just share a quick little backstory. So, one of the reasons why I got started into coaching in the first place was because when I was in high school, my brother passed, and he passed from committing suicide.
Hmm.
And it was obviously, one of the most devastating things in my life. And I did not understand it then, like what, like, asking those questions why, or even like how God was going to turn that into purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, God is so faithful because He did. And what I decided to make a commitment from that day forward is that no matter who passed through my path, they would know they were loved, they were valued, and that they matter. And that
Mm-hmm.
has just been my own personal commitment from that experience, to let people know that you matter. And that's why this work is so important, because I want to let everybody know, and specifically, those who are assigned to me to serve, that
Yes.
you matter. You are that miracle. You are that wow factor. And sometimes, we can allow life and situations to get in the way, where we start to believe a story that, like you said, Tiffany, it's a story that never even belonged to us. It was a story that was literally parameters that other people put around us, that put us in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And so my goal, and what I love serving in this capacity to do, is to awaken that truth inside women, to let them know that your story is your story, and to give you permission to want, to dream, to believe and trust in yourself again, and to know that you
Mm-hmm.
can, because you're worthy and you are enough.
That is so, so beautiful. And I'm really sorry to hear about your brother. That's very tragic. Anytime I hear about anyone who's committed suicide, you know, there's a sadness there.
Yeah.
And as awful and tragic as that is, I'm really proud of you for what you created from it, the gift that you chose to engage in out of that horrific, tragic event. And now you're giving that gift just in your beingness. And you're giving that gift when you're coaching and working with people. You're giving that gift when you and I are with our community and healing calls that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's It's incredible and mysterious and sometimes awe-inspiring the way God works.
Yeah.
Even with all of these tragedies that are happening in 2020, there's great gifts that are coming out of that too. When we choose to look, when we choose to slow down and get still and silent and listen.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Just my own interpretation of this time is that this is a time I equate it to like giving birth. And like we as a world, we're in birthing pains right now. And we're in this space of wrestling, and it doesn't feel good and it's uncomfortable. And at the same time, it's exactly where we need to be able to really look at ourselves. And I think that for those who decide to answer that call are going to see acceleration. And when I say answer that call, what I mean is to answer the call to go deeper, answer the call to truly find you, and answer the call to bring that person out in the purity of who you are.
My heart is doing little flutterby kicks like, yay! So if anyone else is feeling the love and they want to connect with you, can you tell us about your free gift? And I will put the link in the show notes, but you can also verbally, give that to them as well.
Right on. Yes. So I hope you can experience from this episode, I love to connect. So I would love to just know you are invited into this space and my space, and would love to have you be a part of this sisterhood and community. And so you can find me on Instagram at Story Inside You. You can also connect with me on my website at Story Inside You. And my little love gift and freebie is just an awesome and powerful guide that I created to help you detox your mind. So to unlearn some of the things, right, that we have learned throughout our history and I mean our own history, right, that has not served us. And to give ourselves permission to unleash our inner queen. So I know you're going to love it. And, look forward to meeting you and connecting with you and just saying hi.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. I hope that you all will take her up on her free gift and also come to our community discussions and healing to help end racism. We have one coming up this month on September 21st. And then we also have one mid-November.
Yep.
I think it's the 16th.
16th. Yep. November the 16th. Yep.
So come. If you can be there live, do so. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific. And they are recorded. So you can get the replay if you're not there live, but come and participate. Be in the discussion with us. All people, all genders, all races, all colors. We're about diversity and we're about love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And know that, this space is created just for you, literally just for you, to hold space just for you. And part of growth and part of that inside out transformation is being able to come together in community and have those honest conversations in love to grow. So we're excited to grow together and with you. So join in. It will be fun.
Yes. And we create a really safe, energetic space and container and guidelines so that everyone feels safe to be themselves and open and expressed. And we witness you, we love on you, and you are seen, loved, and heard.
That's right. That's right. And you matter.
That's right. Okay. So go to highlyperceptivepeopleacademy.com to RSVP for our September and November events, and then and they're complimentary. There's, just come for free, bring your heart. That's your fee.
That's
right?
right.
Just bring love. That's your love donation.
Right. I heard that.
And then, go to her storyinsideyou.com website and learn more about Naheemah. All right. Much love and blessings to everyone. Namaste.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Soul of an Empath with Tiffany Cano. If you enjoyed this show, please rate and recommend it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you are listening to it. You can get more information from soulofanempath.com. May you be blessed with love, health, peace, joy, spiritual oneness, prosperity, and abundance. So be it. So be it. So be it.